Greetings from the Ivory Coast. This is Mad Shad. So, every day, never forget, there are Americans still trapped in Afghanistan. But it seems they might be better off. What do I mean? What we're facing here today, in this day and age, is a fundamental regime change and way of life change for us all here in this country. It's mostly just threats, but our assets that have been used to keep us safe from internal and external forces that wish to do harm have been weaponized against we the people. Once the regime starts talking about this person and that person being someone of a tango, and now with the PTA being investigated by the FBI. Really? Really? And them having a federal investigation. We've seen the Jan 6 thing. There's people still in jail, just sitting there, some in solitary confinement. It seems that the secret police has been activated, and they're more than willing to carry out these political kind of raids. And now, it came out that there's been word warrants. You can't say certain things. We've all said certain things. So what does that mean? The black helicopters and guys rappelling down, going hut 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 hut. Really? I mean, is that what's going to happen? I mean, could be a breach in the middle of the night on the door while you're asleep, and they throw a black bag over your head and zip tie you, and off you go to be interrogated. Really? Is that what's going to happen to people that basically want to speak their mind? Basically, a lifelong tradition. Going to town hall meetings and letting your voice be heard. Going to school board meetings and letting your voice be heard. There's a podium there. Yet, I found it. I did a town hall meeting years and years ago. It was over something. This was in South Carolina at Surfside Beach, and we all showed up to this itty bitty room where they were having this hearing. I think it was about somebody coming in and buying up all kinds of land so they could make little developments. And there was a lot of us that were opposed to it. And we did it anyway. They did it anyway. They didn't care what we had to say, actually, which was apparent because we would get on the podium. We would stand. We all stood Everybody was nice and quiet. They told us right off the bat, this is a process. You have to be recognized. That whole thing, that whole Rotary Club kind of thing. So have to be recognized. If you're not recognized, don't speak. If you speak and you're not recognized, then the sheriff's department will escort you out, or the local police will escort you out. And if you resist, you'll be arrested and and convicted and all that shit. Like, what? Wait. We're here to voice an opposition to all this. Yet you're telling us if we don't be nice about it. So we did. We followed the rules, and one by one, we went up to the podium and we voiced our opinion. Some were more animated than others. Most people were just basically reading, going, da 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 da, and but there were some old World War II vets who were like, "Rawr! That's such an outrage!" It was great, and they got, as soon as their voice got up, the local muscle kind of got closer to him from behind. And there was a little tap on his shoulder, and he's like, "Rawr!" "Don't touch me." And I'm like, okay, calm the fuck down. Now they just grab your ass. "Don't tase me, bruh." Now it's full game. It's full on. Hey, you might see a fucking taser. You see a soccer mom get tasered? Oh man, you want to piss off the population. You piss off the soccer moms. Okay, you piss off the PTA. You deny them a voice. That is likened to a powder keg. Because they deal with everybody's kids. They deal with everybody's parents. While daddy is off at work, they're running around 200 miles an hour in their minivans with everybody's kids, taking them to this event and that event, and they get to spend a lot of time with their kids. So yeah, they talk to each other, okay, and they talk to their kids, and they find out what's being said out there, and they're like, what these kids, what our future. When you talk to a kid and ask them what's going on in their school, it's a glimpse into the future that you're not going to be a part of, that your children are going to be a part of. So yeah, there's cause for concern. It used to be the 3 R's: reading, writing, arithmetic. Keep your other shit out of it. Now it's everything's compromised. Everything's compromised. And if the female body inspectors are actually going to go and inspect female bodies, you get my drift. Did y'all hear that? That was my neck popping. But what? I mean, and people being arrested later for something they said openly. You see where this is going? And they're not even hiding it anymore. And nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody's saying anything about it. And it doesn't matter if you lawyer up. We should lawyer up. I think everybody should be calling lawyers right now. Hey, I need a lawyer. Why? Because I might just say something. A little protection. I might be deemed a tango. I mean, seriously. Everything's being monitored. Everything from our phones to our social medias to, people listening as you're talking to your neighbors going, "Ooh, that sounded kind of bad. I'm going to do my due diligence and turn them in." Yes. I mean, Who would have thought? And that's the plan, right? Is to take down the Western world as they know it, as we know it, to introduce this facial regime, facialist regime. This, what would be the opposite of apple pie? A turd pie. Yeah. Eat your turd pie. Eat your insect pie. Eat your bug pie. Good for you. Yeah. And, I find it quite telling that everybody that works, everybody that's an employee of the regime has to take their medicine, except the exemptions are everybody in power. Everybody. The Trader Joe cabinet, the senators, the congressmen, the CDC, the FDA, all the alphabet soups are exempt. They're just exempt. They don't have to. But me and you do. But, I mean, there's ways around that, of course. And, a lot of places it hasn't come to that. Will it ever? Who knows? It's hard to predict the future most of the time. But we all know that where this leads, man. We all know this is what our forefathers, what the giants, the shoulders of the giants that we stand upon. This is, we have forgotten the face of our fathers. And I think it's time to recognize them again and realize that those faces of our fathers are us now. I look in the mirror, I see my ancestors. When I look inside myself, I hear my ancestors calling to me. And the message is very profound. Very, very profound. And it's a very simple message. What the fuck? That's the message. Basically, so having that insight, and that's everyone. That primordial, even the primordial ancestors have something to say in their native tongue, and it's but more loud, more something that just grabs your soul and ignites that fire in your belly, and that's it. This right here starts to tingle and shoot out, grit your teeth a little bit. Fists, you find your fists kind of clenching a little bit. You're bracing for impact, you're bracing for something to happen. So yeah, we know, and this is how they do it. They use, but how do you fight this? Well, you don't. You just don't. You don't fight this, or you do. Because the only way you're going to fight this is with everyone saying no. No. And when they go, hey, back up, hey, back up, or you're going to be arrested. Really? That's what they need. They need everybody in their face. No. Great word. That's a great word. When your local PTA is now on the tango list, Come on, man. Really? Wow. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. We're all on the list. There's list upon list upon list, and what happens when they come for you, when they come for me? I mean, fuck, man, you just ruined my life. Thanks, just because I said something. Really? What have you said? So. Be prepared for that. Be prepared. You probably already started to see it. And we all seen the Elsie Contact thing, that showed a worldwide community going, no. We need to do that more. We need to do that a lot more. So, once again, there are Americans still trapped in Afghanistan. But I think maybe they've just made it out. They escaped. So, but hey, life goes on, right? Still got a job, still got clean water, we still got food, still got gas. Winter is coming. Winter is coming. But hey, we got this, right? We've been prepping for 10,000 years. Some would say more than that. 100,000 years. Look at Göbekli Tepe, the pyramids. So yeah, you go back even further. Sumerian texts, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita. I said that right this time. Wow, how about that? All these ancient texts. This has happened many times, many times, and whatever, hopefully this is just a very small stepping stone in our evolution. So Sunday on this beautiful 65 degrees right now. It's going to be a high of 73 today. Oh man, that's beautiful. So just had breakfast. Me and Charity just went for a big long walk through the beautiful metro parks. I was going to videotape it, but I was like, you know what? It was nice and quiet, and we both really just kind of enjoyed the silence of it. I mean, I didn't really do a lot, I just kind of kept my mouth shut. She kept her mouth shut. So did everything else. It was kind of weird. You didn't really, the birds, it's kind of early. But the sun was out, so the birds were just like, yeah, I think I'm going to sleep in today. Yeah. Seen some squirrels running around. They were like, yeah, whatever. Seen some deer. They seen us, and they were like, yeah. So, yeah, interesting morning. I even slept in, till 7. Wow. Imagine that. But yeah, then we hit the trail and had a very peaceful morning walk through the wilderness and on the trails. So I'm sorry I didn't take you along with me. We wanted to enjoy it for ourselves. And that's what you need to do, man. You need to get out there. Get out in the nature and enjoy it. Take a long walk. Sit. Find a log that's not, it's not harboring, some snakes or wood ants or something. Have a seat. Just listen. Watch. Smell. It'll put things in perspective for you. You might even hear your ancestors calling. So, in these tumultuous times that are upon us, the troubles and the troubles that lie ahead, you know, they're going to make us a lot stronger. There's no time for fear. I mean, all my life, if I get intimidated, it kind of insults me. Okay, it really insults me and it infuriates me. And it's regardless of who is trying to intimidate me. I don't know if that's just me being a crazy, dumb vet. No, it's always been that way. Ever since I was a kid. Maybe that's part of my upbringing. You know, that those that affected my life growing up, maybe that's what they instilled in me. Maybe it's my ancestors. But it's a part of me. I think it's a part of all of us as Americans. As universal brotherhood. Part of the universal brotherhood. And sisterhood. But I say brotherhood, I mean everyone. Everyone, every sentient being. You know, that's always been my thing is that, you know, all sentient beings, regardless of species, because there's a lot of sentient beings, that we all find a path to the end of suffering and become enlightened. And I remember a story of I used to, back in the early days when I was getting into all this esoterical stuff and I was getting into meditation. And you think about meditation, what do you want to do? You want to find a very quiet place, you know, maybe dark, with maybe a candle, and that's it. And you sit there and you focus on your breathing and you clear your mind, you do all the things like that, and it takes you, relaxes you and all this, and gives you some kind of clarity, maybe some kind of insight, maybe you see things, hear things, whatever, it all depends. And you do that for as long as you can, you know, starting out 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, hours, you know. There's monks that are still meditating. They sit and meditate for years and just sit there. So many stories about that. But I remember this one guy I used to, you know, follow, and he and the meditation is regardless of your religious background. You know, if you look at it, most religions and cultures have some type of meditation that they get into. So I encourage that, you know, meditation. But there's this one guy I used to follow, and I liked his techniques and everything. And he used to go to a prison and teach these meditation, lead these meditation get-togethers. And there was a PA system. And, you know, these guys, there's a bunch of these inmates and him, and they're sitting in a room, a classroom, whatever, and, you know, was given to them, hey, okay, hang out here, you know, but there was a PA system, and out of the blue, over random, it would just be this blaring loud, you know, PA system, you know, barking commands and updates, and, you know, there's chow time and this and that, and Dorm 1 is on the move, and Sergeant Joe Schmuckatelli, please report to the command center. Medical to Dorm 5. You know, shit like that. Just and you're sitting there trying to, and this thing is just loud, just bah! And he said that instead of trying to block it out, because that's what you hear is like, you gotta block everything out, you know, and that's part of it. You know, that's part of the meditation process, is blocking everything out. Well, they found that no, you just let it happen, because it's going to happen anyway, right? But you decide how you feel about it and how you react to it. And so it would happen, and yeah, you would jump. That was you're sitting there, you're nice and quiet, and you're almost asleep, and all of a sudden, blaring PA, system, you know, just fucks up your universe, and destroys your zen. But over time, just let it go, let it happen, because it's going to happen anyway. And that's kind of how you look at it. It was just let it flow like through you, and that was pretty profound. And there was a lot of walking meditation that the Shaolin monks and the Hindis, everybody used to do. Even some Indians here, Native Americans, Indians, indigenous people, whatever. Native Americans. I like Native Americans better. It's funny that they're called Indians because some guy from Colombia, from Spain, the name of Columbus, came to the Caribbeans and said, "Oh, I made it to India. You guys are Indians." No, not really, but whatever. It's funny how something so wrong stuck, but engines, whatever. You get the point. That's it. They're coming for me now. Whatever. That's fine. I could go on and on and on about about names and how they're wrong, but they stuck because that's just the way it is. So you have to, it makes you understand that everything keeps constantly changing. Everything constantly changes. And there's nothing you can do about it. Everything is everything. Everything changes. Law of cause and effect. There's always a law of cause and effect. Yeah. Even when you die, you break down, whatever. Your consciousness goes here, your consciousness goes there, whatever. Or it sticks around and stays. Who knows? Some say both. Some say it's up to you. Some say that you're nothing but a flower, and then when you die, you go, you picked, and your fragrance is uploaded to the universal brotherhood consciousness, and thank you for your contribution. Moving on. Gotta find another flower. So how everything is connected and everything is everything, and everything changes, and that change is part of everything, of the process of the meditation. And you got to be able to just be okay with it, and stay focused in your unfocused state. So smooth is fast, relaxed is strong. Anyway, so I'm gonna leave it there. Getting way off, way out there, aren't I? There are Americans still trapped in Afghanistan, and the Gestapo is definitely making their threats and blaring over the PA system. As we're trying to meditate in our cells, in our prison. So I'm gonna leave it there. It's been Mad Shad, encouraging you all to continue to train, and that's internally as well, and the way you think, and continue to prep the mind, body, and soul as long as, and as well as everything else. and be the order of chaos and watch the chaos. Sometimes we are the chaos because we all know it's a mad, mad world out there.